Jiang Han Cha Q&A. 1. What are the benefits of Jiang Han Cha? Jiang Han Cha rapidly replenishes the body's qi and blood energy, stimulates the rising of yang qi, and dispels cold from the body, supports healthy bowel movements. Once these areas are balanced, many other health issues naturally improve. Qi and blood are like the fuel of the body. They affect your complexion, energy levels, and menstrual health. The spleen and stomach govern digestion and nutrient absorption, determining how well your body processes what you eat. The intestines are your body's detox pathway, and keeping them clear is key to overall wellness. 2. When should you drink Jiang Han Cha? For daily wellness, dissolve 3 to 6 packets in hot water and drink while warm, preferably on an empty stomach in the morning or before 3 p.m. If you have symptoms or urgent health concerns, you can drink it at any time and in unlimited amounts throughout the day. Just be sure to consume at least 15 packets. 3. Can women drink it during their menstrual period? Yes, they can. Jiang Han Cha helps dispel cold, boost yang energy, and replenish qi and blood. It supports smoother and more complete menstrual flow and helps restore the energy and nutrients lost during the period. It can also help relieve menstrual cramps. 4. Are there any dietary restrictions while drinking Jiang Han Cha? While drinking Jiang Han Cha for wellness support, it's best to avoid cold or cooling foods such as raw vegetables, fruits, seafood, dairy, green tea, cold drinks, including herbal, cooling teas, and medicines with cold or heat-clearing properties, such as antibiotics. 5. Can pregnant women or those trying to conceive drink it? Yes, they can. Both partners who are trying to conceive can safely take Jiang Han Cha. As a form of food-based product, it helps replenish qi and blood, clear meridians, purify the blood, and nourish kidney energy and essence. It also warms the womb and dispels cold. Conception is the union of the father's essence and the mother's blood. When both partners prepare their bodies and restore balance, it enhances fertility and supports the creation of high-quality sperm and eggs, giving the baby a stronger constitution from the very beginning. If you catch a cold or develop a fever during this period, you can drink a larger amount of Jiang Han Cha to support the body's natural healing and reduce reliance on medication. 6. Can Jiang Han Cha be taken after childbirth? Yes, it can. Childbirth is a physically demanding process that depletes a woman's qi, blood, and kidney essence. During the postpartum period, the confinement or recovery month, the mother's joints and bones are still open and vulnerable. If not properly cared for, cold can easily enter the body and cause long-term health issues. This is especially true for mothers who've had a C-section, as their vitality is more severely impacted and they are more prone to lower back pain. Jiang Han Cha helps replenish energy and blood quickly, promotes milk production, supports the discharge of lochia, postpartum bleeding, speeds up wound healing and uterine recovery, boosts yang energy, dispels cold and balances emotions, may ease postpartum mood swings. If mastitis occurs, it can also be managed with larger doses of Jiang Han Cha, along with moxibustion patches, to promote circulation and relieve blockage. Depending on your specific condition, Jiang Han Cha can be combined with Tianyi Te or Qingfen tea to gently warm kidney yang and address postpartum issues like urinary leakage or back pain. 7. Do some people experience heatiness when first drinking Jiang Han Cha? Yes, some people may initially experience symptoms such as acne, mouth ulcers, or a sore throat when they first start drinking Jiang Han Cha. However, these are not true signs of internal heat, but rather false heat caused by blocked cold energy in the body. In traditional Chinese medicine, this often means that cold and dampness are trapped in the middle and lower jiao, causing heat to rise to the upper body, leading to those discomforts. This is the body's way of signaling that cold is being pushed out. The middle and lower jiao refer to functional regions of the body rather than specific anatomical structures. Middle jiao primarily includes the stomach, spleen, and pancreas and is responsible for digestion, transformation, and transportation of food and fluids. It's generally associated with the upper abdomen. Lower jiao includes the kidneys, bladder, intestines, and reproductive organs, and is responsible for elimination, fluid regulation, and reproductive functions. It corresponds roughly to the lower abdomen and pelvic area. Instead of stopping, it is actually recommended to increase the dosage of Jiang Han Cha at this stage. The warming and unblocking properties of the ingredients help to clear stagnation in the digestive system and intestinal tract, allowing the cold and toxins to be released through bowel movements. Once that blockage is cleared, these false heat symptoms will naturally disappear. 8. Is Jiang Han Cha suitable for people with diabetes? Yes, it is. High blood sugar and diabetes are not simply caused by consuming too much sugar, but rather by internal organ dysfunction that leads to endocrine imbalance. As a result, the glucose that should be distributed to the body's organs and tissues ends up in the bloodstream and urine. While diabetes medications can lower blood sugar levels by consuming excess glucose in the blood, they do not restore the body's natural endocrine function. Jiang Han Cha is formulated with ingredients that help strengthen the spleen and stomach, replenish qi and blood, and improve the body's immune function. The brown sugar used in this tea is traditionally prepared using ancient methods. It is very different from refined white sugar. This natural brown sugar is easily absorbed and utilized by the body's cells and does not adversely affect blood sugar levels, making it safe for individuals with high blood sugar or diabetes. 9. Why can Jiang Han Cha help regulate menstruation? 1. Regulates spleen and stomach function. The spleen is sensitive to dampness, and the stomach is sensitive to cold. Jiang Han Cha helps dispel cold and dampness, strengthening the spleen and stomach. When the spleen and stomach function well, the body's ability to transform and produce qi and blood improves. This leads to increased milk production in breastfeeding women and a more abundant menstrual flow. However, if qi and blood are being consumed or depleted, milk production decreases and menstrual flow becomes lighter. Reasons for qi and blood consumption include eating cold or hard-to-digest foods like fruit, which depletes qi and blood. When the body activates its self-repair functions, which consumes qi and blood. This repair process may manifest as symptoms like colds, coughs, diarrhea, rhinitis, pharyngitis, skin conditions, or fatigue. Additionally, the body may enter a deeper phase of energy storage without obvious symptoms, preparing to activate fever or other illness responses to eliminate disease. 2. Dispels cold and unblocks meridians. Jiang Han Cha removes cold that causes blockages in the meridians, especially those related to the uterus, helping to relieve uterine cold and thereby regulating painful menstruation. 3. Directly replenishes qi and blood energy. By boosting the body's warmth and energy, Jiang Han Cha promotes overall bodily functions, including ovarian function, which affects follicle growth and development, thus influencing menstrual cycle regularity and timing. 10. Could consuming a large quantity of the spicy Jiang Han Cha be harsh on the stomach? The spiciness of ginger is completely different from that of chili peppers. The capsaicin in chili peppers can damage the gastrointestinal mucosa, sometimes even causing bleeding or, in severe cases, stomach perforation. However, the spiciness of fresh ginger comes from gingerol, which does not cause such harm. Ginger's spiciness actually promotes the regeneration of the stomach lining. For example, after eating chili peppers, many people feel a burning sensation around the anus during bowel movements the next day. But I bet if you eat a pound of fresh ginger today, you won't feel any spicy sensation when you go to the bathroom tomorrow. Why? Because the heat in ginger is a type of warming energy, not a chemical irritant like capsaicin in chili peppers. The spiciness of ginger can even dissipate through the skin's pores as it vaporizes. Many people ask, I have gastritis and acid reflux, can I still drink Jiang Han Cha? It tastes spicy. Medical textbooks say ginger has a protective effect on the stomach lining. In fact, most traditional herbal formulas for stomach ailments include ginger. So ginger not only does not irritate the stomach, it actually protects and helps repair it. 11. Can Jiang Han Cha help with pharyngitis? Yes, it can. The throat is our body's defense gateway, and pharyngitis, like coughing, runny nose, and sneezing, is a natural self-protective response. Pharyngitis often indicates the presence of cold and dampness in the body. By drinking Jiang Han Cha to replenish qi and blood energy, the body gains enough strength to activate its self-healing process. 12. Is it normal to experience more gas while drinking Jiang Han Cha? Cold in the body exists in 3 forms: gas, liquid, and solid. As cold intensifies, it transforms between these states. During the process of eliminating cold, solid cold first turns into liquid, which may cause diarrhea for some people. When this liquid cold is heated, it breaks down into gas, resulting in bloating and increased, often foul-smelling flatulence. This happens because old, stagnant toxins are being broken down and expelled. It's also normal for the intestines to produce gas daily, as gut microbes ferment food. Eating hard-to-digest foods can generate more and smellier gas. So experiencing more gas while drinking Jiang Han Cha usually means your body is expelling cold and toxins, which is a normal and healthy process. 13. Can someone who has just had a miscarriage drink Jiang Han Cha? Yes, they can. Although a miscarriage is not the same as full-term childbirth, whether it is natural or induced, it still causes significant damage to the mother's body. If proper postpartum care is not taken, it can lead to future issues such as irregular menstruation, lower back pain, abdominal discomfort, and even infertility or habitual miscarriage. Jiang Han Cha helps quickly replenish qi and blood energy and promotes the uterus's self-repair, making it highly suitable in such cases. 14. Why do I feel more sensitive after drinking Jiang Han Cha for a while, like sneezing easily when exposed to air conditioning or having diarrhea after eating cold food? This is actually the first stage of your body's healing process. Previously, due to a lack of energy, your body became less sensitive. It didn't alert or defend against external irritants because it simply didn't have the strength to resist. It either ignored the enemy or surrendered. After entering this first stage of recovery, your body becomes more sensitive and reacts quickly to cold, such as sneezing when exposed to air conditioning or diarrhea after eating cold food. Although it feels like your condition has worsened, it actually means your body is stronger and capable of fighting back. When the enemy provokes you, your body responds immediately because it now has the power to defend itself. When the body's qi and blood energy become more abundant, it enters the second stage. At this point, it can directly resist wind and cold, effectively dispel cold on its own and become less sensitive again. The enemy is no longer able to cause trouble because the body can assimilate and transform it. This is when the body is truly healthy and genuinely strong. 15. Is it normal to experience a sore throat at first when drinking Jiang Han Cha, followed by diarrhea after increasing the dosage? The initial heat symptoms occur because there is cold trapped in the intestines, causing intestinal contractions that block the downward flow of heat. At this stage, it is necessary to increase the dosage to unblock the intestines. Diarrhea means the intestines are starting to clear. Think of it as the ice that had formed in your intestines beginning to melt. You can continue increasing the dosage to thoroughly expel the long-accumulated cold and toxins, after which bowel movements will return to normal. How long will this take? It depends on how much cold and waste is stored in your intestines and how much Jiang Han Cha you drink. Everyone's situation is different. However, if you use anti-inflammatory or anti-diarrheal drugs during this diarrhea phase, the cold will not be expelled and will instead accumulate even more. 16. What's the principle behind Jiang Han Cha for relieving hangovers? Excessive drinking mainly damages the stomach and intestines, which is why alcohol is often called a poison that pierces the intestines. The liver and kidneys are also affected. Beverages like liquor and beer are cold in nature, with liquor being especially cold and harsh. Overdrinking can lead to gastritis, liver and kidney damage, and other health issues. Jiang Han Cha works by dispelling the cold from the stomach and intestines, helping to quickly repair the damage alcohol causes to the gastrointestinal lining. Dizziness and headaches after drinking occur because alcohol speeds up blood circulation, causing reduced oxygen and blood supply to the brain. Another cause of discomfort is that alcohol remains unmetabolized in the bloodstream. Jiang Han Cha replenishes qi and blood energy, accelerates blood circulation, and improves blood flow to the head, which helps relieve dizziness. More importantly, it promotes sweating, which helps the body metabolize and expel alcohol quickly. This is how Jiang Han Cha helps relieve hangovers. For quicker relief after heavy drinking, drink Jiang Han Cha while it's hot. As soon as you start sweating, dizziness symptoms will ease. Key ingredients like ginger, angelica root, poria, and koik seed dispel cold and dampness. kudzu root, and licorice detoxify alcohol, while jujube, brown sugar, goji berries, white fungus, tremella, and lily bulb nourish qi and blood. Together, these ingredients work synergistically to alleviate post-drinking dizziness, stomach discomfort, and rapidly restore energy. 17. Can people with heart problems drink Jiang Han Cha? The ingredients in Jiang Han Cha do not negatively affect the heart, so it is safe to drink. In fact, when the body's qi and blood are sufficient, the heartbeat becomes stronger and more vigorous. If the heart is like an engine, then qi and blood are the fuel. Without fuel, the engine cannot run. When fuel is low, the body intelligently switches to a power-saving mode, reducing performance. People with anemia or low blood sugar often have low blood pressure and a weak, slow heartbeat. But with good quality and enough fuel, the engine heart can work at full power, beating normally and strongly. Of course, this assumes the engine itself isn't damaged. The heart engine is vulnerable mainly in two ways: blockages and structural deformation. Blockages are caused by excessive waste buildup in the blood, while deformation happens when the heart is exposed to cold in a high-temperature state. The alternating hot and cold can cause parts to warp. Cold and cooling medicines, especially chemical drugs like painkillers, antibiotics, and antihistamines, can be particularly harmful to the heart. 18. Can you drink Jiang Han Cha at night? Isn't it said that ginger soup at night is worse than arsenic? If you're drinking it for daily health maintenance, it's generally not necessary to drink it at night. But if you have symptoms, you can actually drink it anytime, including at night. The idea that you shouldn't consume ginger at night is a misconception. First, Jiang Han Cha is not just plain ginger tea. Ginger is only one ingredient among many, and the components interact in a way that balances and moderates their effects. So don't equate fresh ginger or ginger soup directly with Jiang Han Cha. The saying, ginger soup at night is worse than arsenic, is actually a misunderstanding or exaggeration. Fresh ginger contains no toxins. If it were toxic during the night but safe during the day, that wouldn't make sense. This phrase is an old metaphor meaning that in the morning, the body's yang energy needs to rise, and ginger soup helps stimulate this yang energy. The warning about night consumption refers to the idea that at night, yang energy should be stored and conserved, and drinking ginger soup might disrupt this process. However, this applies mainly to people who are healthy. If someone is experiencing symptoms or illness, strictly following this saying can be too rigid. We should understand the principles behind it. Many people have serious coldness in their bodies and can't properly store yang energy at night, which causes insomnia or difficulty falling asleep. Many people find that drinking Jiang Han Cha before bed actually helps them sleep better. This shows there is no absolute rule. Everything depends on the individual's condition. This is actually easy to explain. Jiang Han Cha helps unblock the pathway for yang energy to be stored properly, allowing it to enter yin, which naturally improves sleep quality. 19. After drinking Jiang Han Cha for a while, I suddenly developed itchy skin and rashes that swell when scratched. Could this be a sign that my body is expelling cold? First, it's important to rule out allergies or recent exposure to wind cold. If the symptoms are solely caused by drinking Jiang Han Cha, there is no need to worry. This likely means your body's qi and blood have become stronger and are starting to expel cold. In this case, it's best to avoid bathing because washing can cause the body to catch cold more easily. You can increase the dosage of Jiang Han Cha to help your body eliminate the cold more thoroughly. Also, make sure to keep warm so you can sweat, which aids in the detoxification process. Since your body is choosing to release cold through skin reactions like rashes and itching, it indicates that the detoxification pathways are still not fully clear. On one hand, your intestines may not be fully open, and on the other, your skin pores are not entirely unobstructed. Increasing the dosage to promote regular bowel movements and sweating will help clear these pathways. Once that happens, the cold won't need to be expelled through the skin with rashes and itching. 20. Are sneezing, a runny nose, and diarrhea signs that the body is expelling cold while drinking Jiang Han Cha? When your body's energy becomes strong, it builds up a powerful defense system. Once harmful substances enter the body, your immune system immediately activates to expel the intruders. For example, sneezing right away after exposure to air conditioning in summer, diarrhea after eating something unclean or cold, or sneezing, runny nose, and coughing when a virus enters the upper respiratory tract. These are all signs of a functioning immune system. This is what true immunity looks like. 21. Can Jiang Han Cha help support the body during bouts of vomiting and diarrhea caused by acute gastroenteritis? Acute gastroenteritis is usually caused by a cold invasion or dietary issues that allow bacteria or viruses to enter the digestive system. The symptoms of vomiting and diarrhea are actually the body's way of expelling cold, bacteria, and viruses, essentially clearing out toxins. Sometimes fever accompanies this, which is the body's natural defense and repair response, as bacteria and viruses dislike high temperatures. The proper approach is to help the body eliminate these toxins more thoroughly. Drinking Jiang Han Cha can aid in expelling cold dampness and harmful microbes from the body. It also helps replenish the fluids and nutrients lost through vomiting and diarrhea, providing the body with more energy. Additionally, Jiang Han Cha raises the temperature of the digestive tract, promoting the growth of beneficial gut bacteria and truly helping to restore the intestinal flora balance. So Jiang Han Cha does not stop the vomiting and diarrhea caused by acute gastroenteritis. Instead, it helps the body to more quickly and thoroughly expel cold and toxins, replenish energy, and support the body's self-healing and recovery. 22. Is ginger considered a spicy food? Is it still suitable to drink Jiang Han Cha after surgery or when advised to avoid spicy foods? First, although fresh ginger has a spicy flavor, it is not classified as a spicy food in typical dietary restrictions. Foods commonly considered spicy include scallions, chili peppers, onions, and garlic. Ginger's spiciness is different from that of chili peppers. Ginger's heat is more like qi, energy, whereas chili's heat is a strong flavor. For example, eating a lot of ginger won't cause the burning sensation in the rectum that chili peppers can cause. Spicy foods are often avoided during illness or recovery for two main reasons. 1, they can irritate the digestive system and interfere with medications, and 2, they can stimulate kidney energy, yang, which may be undesirable during certain health conditions. In Buddhist dietary practice, pungent foods like scallions, garlic, leeks, and cilantro, as well as meat, are avoided, but ginger is not included in these restrictions. Moreover, ginger has long been praised by traditional doctors and is included in almost all formulas for treating digestive issues. Jiang Han Cha also contains sour and sweet ingredients that balance the spicy nature of ginger, helping to harmonize the formula. Therefore, ginger is not considered a spicy food to avoid, and Jiang Han Cha actually helps replenish qi and blood, supporting faster recovery and wound healing. So there's no need to worry about this concern. 23. Can Jiang Han Cha help with bleeding gums? Yes, it can. If you observe children's gums compared to middle-aged and elderly people's gums, you'll notice that gums tend to shrink or recede with age. In traditional Chinese medicine, the spleen governs the muscles, and the gums are actually considered part of the muscular system. Gum recession indicates spleen deficiency, meaning the spleen's function is weakened. Jiang Han Cha has two important effects. First, it drives out cold. Second, it regulates and strengthens the digestive system, especially the spleen and stomach. Many of the ingredients in Jiang Han Cha, such as fresh ginger and jujube dates, help remove dampness and strengthen the spleen, because the spleen is particularly vulnerable to dampness. Once dampness is cleared, spleen function improves and becomes more normal. Gum recession and bleeding gums are common problems. The spleen controls the muscles and holds the blood, meaning it manages blood circulation throughout the body. When the spleen is weak, it cannot properly contain the blood, which causes symptoms like bleeding gums. Similarly, in women, severe spleen deficiency can cause menstrual bleeding issues such as excessive flow or prolonged menstruation. Drinking a sufficient amount of Jiang Han Cha replenishes the spleen and stomach's energy, strengthening their function. This often shows as improved digestion and absorption, leading to an increased appetite and a feeling of getting hungry more easily. According to the Yi Jing, Book of Changes, the earth element corresponds to the spleen and stomach, represented by the color yellow and the sweet taste, both of which relate to strengthening the spleen meridian. The ingredients in Jiang Han Cha mostly have properties that strengthen the spleen and stomach, including its sweet flavor, which enters the spleen meridian to nourish qi and blood. When spleen and stomach function return to normal, they can hold the blood effectively, so bleeding gums stop. If you continuously support and restore spleen energy, even receded gums may gradually recover to a healthier state. 24. Can Jiang Han Cha help with frequent stomach bloating? Yes, it can. The stomach's natural flow of gas is downward, acting like a passageway moving downward. If you experience bloating, it means the intestinal tract below is not smooth or is blocked, like a clogged pipe beneath a sink, causing water to back up and accumulate, resulting in bloating. Jiang Han Cha promotes the repair and strengthening of the spleen and stomach, which can help regulate this condition. It's also important to pay attention to your bowel movements and reduce intake of cold-inducing foods. 25. Why does drinking Jiang Han Cha cause more frequent urination? Jiang Han Cha is a warming, yang, dietary remedy, but it contains balanced elements, yin within yang, to avoid being too extreme. It helps eliminate dampness and cold, warms and unblocks the intestines, and increases the bladder's ability to vaporize fluids. If there is a significant amount of cold dampness in the body will naturally expel it through increased urination and bowel movements. 26. Some people say that boiling fresh ginger water daily or drinking mutton soup also helps warm the body. So what's the difference? Indeed, drinking mutton soup or boiling fresh ginger water can warm the body. The fundamental difference lies in the composition and balance. Fresh ginger alone is slightly biased in its effects. It mainly releases exterior cold, warms the middle, stops nausea, and relieves cough. But on its own, it doesn't have the ability to tonify qi and nourish blood. Using just one ingredient with a biased nature is not suitable for long-term use. Jiang Han Cha, however, contains 16 medicinal and edible ingredients combined in a balanced formula with roles like chief, deputy, assistant, and envoy. It overall lifts yang energy but is carefully moderated by ingredients like white fungus and grapes to keep it from being too excessive. This balance follows the principles of the 5 elements, where ingredients mutually regulate each other. Also, some customers try to dry and powder the ingredients themselves after seeing the list. But the exact dosage of each ingredient, which determines the main therapeutic focus, cannot be replicated easily. The creator, Professor Guo, also incorporates elements of I Ching and numerology. The dosages correspond to specific hexagrams that represent different energies. This subtlety can't be simulated. Finally, drying fresh ginger changes it into dried ginger, which is not suitable for long-term consumption. What looks like a simple combination actually holds deep and subtle wisdom. 27. Can elderly people and men consume Jiang Han Cha? Deficiency of qi and blood affects all genders and ages. In today's society, men also suffer from staying up late, eating cold or raw foods, and various stresses, often as much as women. For the elderly, aging themselves means gradual loss and stagnation of qi and blood. When qi and blood are sufficient, the functions of the 5 organs improve, and one's vitality, spirit, and health greatly enhance, making illnesses less likely. Women generally experience greater loss due to menstruation, childbirth, and breastfeeding. Elderly people can use Jiang Han Cha daily for maintenance. It dispels cold, tonifies yang, replenishes qi and blood, relieves pain, and boosts immunity. Many older adults suffer constipation from qi deficiency, and Jiang Han Cha can help relieve that too. Having a cup daily can improve quality of life. However, very advanced age or serious illnesses may require caution or avoidance. Men often face significant stress, and beyond issues of energy and circulation, many challenges are related to the liver and kidneys, often due to social drinking and frequent dining out. Concerns like high uric acid levels and liver strain can be supported by other dietary products beyond Jiang Han Cha. 28. Will long-term consumption cause internal heat? During the conditioning period, because the middle burner, the spleen and stomach, is cold and blocked, you may sometimes experience what seems like false internal heat symptoms. At this time, do not use cooling or heat-clearing remedies to extinguish the fire, because this is a type of deficiency fire. This deficiency fire will naturally resolve once you open up the middle burner with a sufficient dose to expel cold and dampness. Once the middle burner is fully unblocked through proper treatment, deficiency fire will no longer rise and internal heat symptoms will disappear. It's like a clogged drain. When the drain is clear, water flows down smoothly without backing up. 29. What are storage requirements for the product? Keep it in a cool, dry place. Occasionally, you may notice clumping after opening the tea because our product does not contain anti-caking agents. Ingredients like jujube powder and brown sugar powder tend to clump. If this happens, simply refrigerate it and then gently tap or shake to break up the clumps. Why is a large dosage needed? Quantitative changes lead to qualitative changes. Our body's issues accumulate gradually from before conception, through pregnancy, and postnatal care until now. Many people have long-term poor lifestyle and dietary habits, which overdraw their vital energy, qi and blood. As a result, their bodies carry heavy cold pathogens and their digestive systems become congested and blocked. A large dosage of Jiang Han Cha provides enough heat energy to clear these blockages and channels, preventing so-called heatiness symptoms. This is known as a shock therapy. The body is like a clogged drain pipe. When it's blocked, more water is needed to flush out the sludge. Similarly, when the body's vital energy is overdrawn without replenishment, the organs lack sufficient qi and blood to function properly, causing various health issues. Therefore, a quick, large dosage is necessary at first to ensure the body can resume normal operation. 31. Why might drinking the tea cause weight gain? 1. Poor bowel movements. If your bowel movements are not regular or thorough, toxins and waste build up in the intestines. Since about 70% of the body's detoxification depends on proper bowel evacuation, incomplete elimination means toxins remain, causing bloating and a feeling of heaviness, which might appear as weight gain. 2. Body storing energy due to previous deficiency. If your body's qi and blood energy were severely depleted, perhaps from long-term dieting, meal replacements, or weight loss products, when you start drinking Jiang Han Cha and your energy improves, your body may store this new energy first. This is similar to how animals store fat before winter to survive the cold. Your body prioritizes replenishing and strengthening energy before it can fully detox and repair itself. So even if you're eating less, e.g. fasting, your weight might still increase because the body is holding on to energy to recover from prior deficiencies. 3. More blood and improved vitality. Sometimes weight gain is not fat, but an increase in healthy blood volume and improved body condition. When your qi and blood are sufficient, your body regulates itself bidirectionally. If you are too thin, it holds on to energy and builds up. If you are overweight, it helps eliminate the excess. Modern aesthetics don't always reflect healthy body balance. Being too fat or too thin often means organ qi and blood imbalance. How to tell if it's true fat gain or healthy restoration? If your pants feel looser around the waist, even though your weight stays the same or goes up, this usually means your qi and blood are replenished, your muscles and tissues are healthier, and you're not actually gaining unhealthy fat. In summary, weight gain after drinking. Jiang Cha is often a sign that your body is restoring energy, detoxifying, and repairing itself, rather than just accumulating fat. 32. What is the recommended duration or cycle for drinking the tea? How long does it take to improve my condition? It generally depends on your body's state. For those with less physical depletion who maintain good habits like going to bed early and getting up early, consistent use for about 1 month can bring noticeable improvements, such as relief from cold hands and feet, menstrual pain, stomach pain, constipation, or loose stools, and fatigue. For people with greater depletion and higher ongoing consumption of energy, even taking large doses may work more slowly. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. If water leaks out as fast as you pour it in, the bucket will never fill. The ideal adjustment period is generally 3 months because most of the body, except brain cells, renews every 3 months. Therefore, 3 to 6 months of consistent drinking is recommended. However, the teas are not just health supplements. They aim to restore the body's self-healing ability to repair underlying conditions. Since each person's physical condition, life experience, and medication history differ, the recovery pace and cycle vary with no fixed time frame. 33. Do you need to take it long-term? Let me use a car analogy. If car maintenance really worked perfectly, why would we still need auto repair shops? If a car isn't maintained regularly, its brakes can fail and various parts can break down completely. That's no longer a maintenance issue, but a serious accident. Similarly, if you don't regularly repair and maintain your body, its parts will eventually break down too. By the time you reach the hospital, it might already be too late. So, supplementing and repairing your depleted energy and blood is like reducing the risk of major health problems. It keeps you from ending up constantly visiting the hospital. 34. Will taking the product cause constipation? The product itself does not cause constipation. People with weak spleen and stomach usually have poor intestinal function. The intestines are about 8 meters long, winding with many folds. If after drinking the tea, bowel movements become blocked, it's because the body's heat energy is insufficient. Insufficient heat causes uneven warming in the intestines, hot in the upper part and cold in the lower part, leading to more coldness and blockage. In this case, drinking more ginger tea, about 15 packets or more, combined with 8 to 12 packets of Jubai Yin, except for those with very high blood pressure, will improve the effect. 35. Can children drink it? Can they drink it long term? Generally, it is not recommended for children under 3 years old. However, some experienced mothers understand the principle and start giving it with porridge when the child is around 1 year old. For children over 3 years old, many nowadays suffer from cold accumulation, indigestion, heavy phlegm dampness, and symptoms like peeled or cracked tongue coating, which indicate imbalance in the body. They need to expel cold, strengthen the spleen and stomach, and replenish qi and blood for repair. Jiang Han Cha can help regulate and support their health. Also, for children with weak constitution who often get sick, consistent use over a period can help strengthen their yang energy. Since children's spleen and stomach are weak, the effect of medicines can be limited, but this tea is made entirely from natural, food-based ingredients with no chemical additives. It supplements qi and blood energy, and the body naturally absorbs what it needs while expelling the rest through bowel movements. These natural ingredients won't interfere with growth and development, so safety is not a concern. Most children's health issues stem from feeding and medication habits, so parents should learn proper medical understanding to correct problems at the source. 36. Can people with hemorrhoids use the product? Yes, they can. Hemorrhoids are essentially varicose veins at the end of the rectum caused by poor venous blood return. This poor blood flow is due to qi deficiency, since blood is the mother of qi and qi is the commander of blood. Blood circulation relies on qi to move it, so when qi is insufficient, blood circulation slows down. Factors like internal heat caused by cold in the intestines, fatigue, staying up late, overexertion, and middle qi deficiency can all trigger hemorrhoids. Currently, most treatments focus on relieving hemorrhoid pain and bleeding, usually with external applications, without addressing the root cause, qi deficiency. Jiang Han Cha warms and unblocks the intestines, and when combined with Jubai Yin, except for those with very high blood pressure, taking a large dose, 8 to 10, 15 packets, is very effective. Together, they promote qi and blood circulation. Once qi and blood are sufficient and the intestines are cleared, hemorrhoid symptoms will disappear. Additionally, moxibustion on the changchang point near the hemorrhoid area and applying bica oil can speed up recovery. 37. Will there be any discomfort when taking the product? During the period of taking the product, symptoms such as diarrhea, worsening cough, fever, cold symptoms, heavy menstrual bleeding with blood clots, sore throat, headache, mouth ulcers, swollen gums, dry and red eyes, eczema, skin rashes, recurrence of stomach issues, acne, or temporary rises in medical indicators may appear. These are all normal detoxification reactions as the body is expelling pathogens. There is no need to worry. Increasing the dosage can help the body eliminate coldness more quickly and thoroughly. 38. Can this product be used to support recovery from bruises and injuries? The human body is very intelligent. When bruises or injuries occur, the body mobilizes its yang energy and heat to activate blood circulation and dissolve blood stasis, which causes the injured area to feel warm as the damaged capillaries repair. Sometimes, after a severe fall or trauma, a mild fever may appear. This is also part of the body's self-healing process. The best approach at this time is continuous moxibustion or applying moxa patches externally, or using topical blood-activating ointments like herbal balm to speed up healing. Internally, drinking large doses of the ginger cold-clearing tea combined with Jubai Yin can quickly replenish qi and blood energy to promote self-repair. 39. What is the process of expelling cold and toxins from the body? The process of expelling cold and toxins from the body occurs through three main pathways: sweating, expelling, and elimination. Sweating. This includes symptoms on the skin such as pimples, eczema, herpes, and urticaria. Expelling. This is expressed through sneezing, coughing up phlegm, coughing, vomiting, runny nose, sore throat, and even nosebleeds. Elimination. This involves bowel movements, urination, and menstruation. When the body expels cold through these reactions, the goal is not to suppress them with anti-inflammatory drugs, cold medicine, or steroid ointments, but to support and promote their natural elimination. The purpose of Jiang Han Cha is to provide the body with extra energy to help expel cold pathogens. All Erbu products work on a similar principle. They aim to detoxify and clear waste from the inside out. Therefore, the process of restoring the body involves various elimination reactions. This aligns with the universal principle of energy conservation. Energy and matter only change forms. They are neither created nor destroyed. 40. This product is expensive. This product isn't cheap. In fact, it's one of the most expensive medicinal teas on the market. But the price directly reflects its true value and the significant improvements it can bring to your health, far outweighing the cost. Many people spend years trying cheaper herbs and remedies that ultimately don't work. No matter how cheap something is, if it's ineffective, it's just a waste. The reason this tea is more expensive is because every single ingredient undergoes special processing and preparation. This craftsmanship ensures the quality and effectiveness you experience. But what's even more valuable than the tea itself is Erbu's health philosophy. We share daily health knowledge and correct medical insights. Many families who have followed us for 7 years haven't needed to rely on medication anymore. They've not only improved their own health, but can now handle common issues like colds, fevers, eczema, and rhinitis by themselves. About 85% of common problems. So you're not just buying tea, you're gaining lifelong knowledge, a healthier lifestyle, and practical skills you can use and pass on. So do you still think it's expensive?